Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 14, 14, 15, 16. 3 weeks to go, and you're going to make it. All right. Thank you very much for getting your portfolios in on time. I am really looking forward to seeing them. Also, thanks for all of your really good questions last week about that assignment. And I just can't wait to take a look at them. So I anticipate doing that this weekend. And yeah, it'll be fun. All right, so we have another one of those extension questions this week for our discussion question. It kind of builds on lifelong learning, continuous quality improvement, and scholarship, kind of tying those things all together. From my perspective, with my MSN and then my doctorate program, people react differently when they graduate. And this question is kind of about like pursuing stuff afterwards, pursuing a specific area about teaching and learning and scholarship towards doing that. So people kind of react differently when they graduate, right? So for me, I had a real brief period where I just took a break. I vegged out for a while and I really didn't want to do anything. It was just like, oh, I'm done. But that didn't really last very long. Then those student instinct kicked in. And even now, 8 years after I finished my doctorate, it is still hard for me to just sit on the couch, watch TV, and do nothing else. It feels like I'm being so not productive. So anyway, once you get into that student mode in graduate school, it follows you. So I think all of you have definitely shown, obviously, your desire to learn, or you wouldn't have persevered through this master's program, right? And I can tell by the things that you post, the articles that you find, how you dig into things and reply to each other, that you are definitely learners. You go to a depth. You're not just superficial. So I know all of you are learners. The key is trying to hang on to that zeal of curiosity and not getting overwhelmed by trying to keep up on everything. Okay? So for me, I have specific areas of focus that I try to look at when I'm engaging in continual learning and scholarship. So one obviously is nursing education, and then school nursing, general pediatric clinical practice, nursing trends, and then general adult med-surg learning or nursing. So that's a lot, right? So I need to kind of divide and conquer when I'm looking at these kind of big overarching topics. And sometimes I admit that I'm just kind of skimming over areas. And then that skimming really helps for me to get a broad perspective, and I can determine when I really want to take a deep dive and get to know something better that is particularly relevant to me. And it's really fun after you graduate because you get to decide what areas that you're going to learn about and what areas you're going to focus on. So it is much more fun, and you determine your own deadlines, right? Okay, so right now I am in the middle of a great deep dive. Okay, so I coordinate the care of many children with significant seizure disorders, and I'm responsible for educating many lay people about how to keep all these children safe. So seizure disorders, helping with seizure disorders, making children's lives better in that area is a passion area of mine. So I am attending this webinar offering that is being sponsored by the Epilepsy Foundation and the American Association of Pediatrics, specifically for school nurses. So it's an hour-long webinar format. We use Zoom so we can talk to each other. And it meets 1 to 2 times a month, and it brings together school nurses, epilepsy experts, nursing epilepsy experts and pediatric neurologists. And we're all together. And at any time, there might only be like maybe max 25 of us together talking on this webinar. And so we spend the first half of our time getting like a mini lecture kind of on some aspect of epilepsy management. And then we spend the second half of our time together reviewing a case that one of the school nurses has brought forward. And so the school nurse kind of presents the case and gives all the details, of course, maintaining confidentiality. And then everybody weighs in and have this open dialogue. So I am conversing about my patient with a national nursing expert on epilepsy and a nationally known pediatric neurologist about how to better improve the care of the student that I'm struggling with. It is so intellectually stimulating, I cannot tell you. So yes, I'm kind of a geek when it comes to continuing education, but what I really want to encourage you to do is to, once you graduate and you have the opportunity to choose some of these areas that you want to improve, particularly about teaching and learning, really keep your ear to the ground. Try to network with people who might hear about cool things like this opportunity. This opportunity came because I am a member of the National Association of School Nurses, and I am willing to meet from 4 to 5 late in the day and participate in this thing. And I am just reaping so many benefits. So there's so many avenues of scholarship once you identify some areas that you really want to focus on. And so I am this week interested in hearing about what aspects of teaching and learning you are most interested in. I know some of you had previously talked about you want to learn more about specific strategies that deal with active learning and student engagement, whether that's on the academic side or in the clinical arena. And so it'll be interesting to hear, if some of you choose that, what scholarly activities specifically you think you're going to do in order to plan to address those areas. Then, on a kind of different topic, I'm going to attach an article about moral courage. So I belong to the NLN, so I get nursing education perspectives, and I am a little behind. I am reading the July-August 2018 issue, and there is an editorial in there about moral courage and do we address that adequately in nursing education. And it kind of ties into that legal case I posted a few days ago about those nurses working in the prison setting that took pills that had been contaminated by dropping on the floor and taking them out of a sharps container and then giving them to patients. So it kind of ties in with that case that we were talking about. All right, so I think that's about it for this week. Just looking forward to some more good discussion. I'm hoping that now that portfolio is out of the way and many of you are winding down on your practicum, that we can get into some even better discussion and just share some good things with each other in our last few weeks together. All right, guys, I'll see you in the main forum.